Hi, good morning everyone. Today is the day 53 of Gear Up Mains Answer Writing. In this series, we are discussing the question related to the UPSC Mains examination, and in this week, we are covering the question related to the ethics. Okay, so let's see what's the question for today. The question is, the teaching of Buddha are most relevant today and why? Discuss. The simple question. This was a question in the UPSC 2020 and it was a very simple question. The teaching of Buddha and their relevance today and why? Means we need to be highlight about the teachings of Buddha, their relevance, and also about the examples, why they are relevant today. We need to be write the three things in this question. First, about the teaching of Buddha. The second is about their relevance and examples, why they are relevant today. So, Buddha always follow the middle path, perseverance, never lie. They are some of the, even he told us about the eightfold path of Buddha as well. Always he follow the middle path, never much happiness, never sadness, not so greedy, never kill an animal. These kind of the teachings of Buddha you need to mention here. And you can also mention about the eightfold path of Buddha. Okay, so let's see what's the teaching of Buddha. In the introduction of this question, what you will write? As usual, we are dividing the question into the introduction, body, and conclusion. In the body part, we will cover these three areas. The teaching of Buddha, the most relevant today, and why. But in the introduction, what we will write? Buddha had given teaching long back in a peaceful sustenance of human beings, to keep oneself true to himself and focus on the self-realization, the self-actualization. So we will write a few words about the Buddha teaching in the introduction itself. We will write about the peaceful sustenance of the human being, and self-realization, peaceful sustenance of human being and the self-realization. We will write these 10-15 words related to the Buddha teachings in the introduction itself. After addressing the introduction, we will come to the body part where we will discuss about the teaching of the Buddha. The teachings of the Buddha. We list out the various teachings, the principle of the golden mean, not to be greedy, forgiveness, peace, principle of equality, do not lie, law of dhamma, meditation, and understanding reality. These are the teaching of Buddha. These are the teaching of Buddha, and this is the mainly core demand of the question. You need to write about these teachings. You need to write about why these teachings are relevant today. Why these teachings are relevant, and if you can write about the examples in the current perspective. If you can write the example with respect to the current perspective. So let's discuss one by one, starting from the principle of the golden mean, then not to be greedy, the forgiveness, peace, principle of equality. In the case of the principle of the golden mean, Buddha always advised. In this case, Buddha always advised, never show the extreme happiness, never show the extreme happiness, and never show the extreme sadness. There should be a middle path. There should not be extreme happiness and extreme sadness. And the example of this Buddha gave in the current perspective, after achieving the small target, we are become so happy, but after some time we are again become sad. With the rise in the violence, rise in the religious intolerance in the country, these principle of golden mean keep changing. And there is a good example of it, the Cafe Coffee Day owner, CCD owner, who recently attempted suicide due to the greediness. So there should be a control on the extreme happiness and the extreme sadness, and the relevance for today, like in today's world where there is people are intolerant, they are not having the, we can say they are not having the satisfaction related to that. They always try to do more profit, they show the greediness, and they are like a violence, increase in the violence, religious intolerance. So this become a very good example, the principle of the golden mean having the relevance in the today's context. Second is about the not to be greedy. Not to be greedy. Not to be greedy. In this case, what we can write? On this earth, the most greediest animal is the human being. On this earth, the most greediest animal is the human being. And Buddha had preached that desire is the root cause of sin and sadness. Buddha said that the desire is the root cause of sins and sadness. जितना ज़्यादा हमें greediness होगा, जितना ज़्यादा हमें desire होगा, उतना ही it will see the sins, it will show the sadness. So there we can say in the today's world where everybody is moving toward having the some desires, some desires. One who is having the bicycle, he have a desire to buy a two-wheeler. One who have a two-wheeler, he has a desire to buy a car. Those who have a car, he desire to buy a high brand, the Mercedes, BMW. So that desire lead to the sadness. That desire lead to the sadness and also the sin. So this is relevance in the today's world where everybody had desire to do something new and to achieve the more money, to earn the more money. So in this example, we can say the Gandhi once said that, the earth has enough for the human need, but not for the human greed. Earth has enough for the human need, but not for the human greed. So there should not be greedy. So that's the teaching of the Buddha we can use in the present context. Next teaching is the forgiveness. Forgiveness. Next teaching of Buddha is the forgiveness. Buddha always said that forgiveness is the highest virtue of the human being. Buddha always said that forgiveness is the highest virtue. It is the highest virtue of the human being. Means if we are forgiving someone for any reason, if he is doing any sin, if he is culprit of any of the attacks, and we are forgiving the person who did something wrong. So that's the highest virtue we can say in this case. So Buddha said that the forgiveness is the highest virtue of the human being. And in today's world where the people are having the religious intolerance, people are against each other, on small talk they start fighting with each other. In that case, that forgiveness is the principle that can bind together, that lead to so that they are close to everyone. So they are coming close, like the Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, आपस में सब भाई भाई. That's the forgiveness. If we are not forgiving in the some on the one on the other case, that brotherhood, that the linkage between the two religions, that closeness between the two person cannot come. So, in the today's world, the forgiveness has the highest relevance. In the case of the forgiveness, you can take the example from the world history as well. You can write the example of the Germany Holocaust in the case of the Nazi Germany. So, where some of the people forgive the Nazi even for the Holocaust so that the cycle can break. So that the cycle can break. If we are not forgiving, then the cycle will be continue. So the Buddha always said that he followed the principle of the forgiveness. He followed the principle of forgiveness. So we discuss about the principle of golden mean, not to be greedy, forgiveness. Next is the peace. Buddha always preached for the attainment of peace by meditation. He always achieved about the peace even by the meditation, or by the introspection. Introspection of self means by the meditation and the introspection of ourselves we can achieve the peace. In the today's world, the lack of introspection and the meditation has made individual wayward approach कि हम अकेले ही चल रहे. We are not focusing on the meditation, we are not introspecting ourselves, and we are in the search of peace. How it's possible? So the Buddha always said that we should be focused on the meditation. We should self introspect first so we can get the peace. And this is the highest relevance in today. Even if we can say there are the classes for the meditation, there are the classes for the yoga, and the people are want to achieve the peace. So in the case of the today's relevance, the lack of introspection and the meditation has made individual a wayward in approach. They are not aware about their value and they are focusing on the materialistic world. They are not aware by their value and they are focusing on the materialistic world. They want to achieve something. They want to earn more money. They want a BMW car. They want a huge house. So the Buddha always said that there should be a peace. And for the peace, you will meditate and introspect yourself first. Meditate and introspect yourself first. So we discuss about the golden mean, not to be greedy, forgiveness, peace. Similarly, we need to be discuss about the principle of equality, law of dharma, do not lie. So in the case of the principle of equality, Buddha said never discriminate among the people, never discriminate between the different genders. Buddha said that one should not go other what would like to happen to himself. There should not be a discrimination. It brings right and ethical conduct in the society. If we are not discriminating people, so it will bring the equality in the society. In the present society, where we are discriminating the people on the basis of different things, even on the basis of the race, even on the basis of the gender, even on the basis of the caste. But the Buddha said that we always need to be focused on the principle of equality. So it's having the relevance in the today's world also. Female movement to seek participation in the equal manner, like the participation of the female in the various movement, participation of the woman in the parliament, participation of the woman in the different kind of the NGO work. So principle of equality. So we should also focus on the principle of the equality that's having the highest relevance in the today's world. So in this question, we need to be discuss about the Buddha teaching, their relevance in today's world, and examples that's required. So we highlights these principles. We will explain these principles in 1-2 line. We will write the relevance in the today world, and we will end up with writing the example. It is your choice. You want to write this in a tabular form or you want to write as individual points. So you can mention the 4-5 teachings of Buddha, because this is a 10 marker question and you have a word limit of 10 to 150 words, where the 30 words you can write in the introduction and the conclusion both together. So in the 120 words, so we can write about the 5-6 teaching of Buddha with the relevance in the today's world and as well as the examples. Clear? Now we can also represent a diagram of the eightfold path of the enlightenment. What are the eightfold path of Buddha enlightenment? He always said that the right mindfulness, control your own thoughts. We need to control our own thoughts. He always preached about the meditation, self introspection, right view, know the truth, right concentration, practice in the meditation, right exports, right action, right speech. So we can draw this diagram also when they is showing the relevance in the today's world. Like the right livelihood means respect life of others as well. Practice meditation, right concentration, right mindfulness means control your thoughts. If you are controlling your thoughts, you are you are self-meditated and there will be not much greed. So you can also draw this diagram in your answer. Okay, now let's come to the conclusion part. What we will write in the conclusion? Buddha always, in the conclusion we can write, about the Buddha teachings. Buddha always teach about kindness. He always teach about the kindness, about humanity. He always teach about the kindness, humanity, patience, wisdom, and compassion. These are the much relevant value in today's world. Kindness, humanity, patience, wisdom, compassion. These are the much relevance value in the today's perspective. So Buddha's teaching has the much relevance in the today's perspective also. That's mainly the question demand. So we are summing up the Buddha's teaching and their relevance in the today's world. In the case of the increasing in the violence against the humans, if these teachings, the kindness, the humanity, patience, wisdom, compassion, if person is having all these 5-6 category, 5-6 characters in itself, then in this today's world जहाँ पे intolerance ज़्यादा है, crime against women ज़्यादा है, crime against animals are also more. So these teachings can play a very important roles. Okay, so this is the conclusion for this question, and we discussed about the introduction where we are writing about the Buddha teachings. In the body part, we are explaining the Buddha teaching, we are writing the relevance, and we also writing the examples. And we also writing about the eightfold path of enlightenments. We can draw this diagram in the answer sheet itself, and we are concluding the answer. Okay. So we will meet tomorrow at the 6 p.m. again with the new question of the ethics. Till then, please try to write the answer and submit to the Edukemy portal. You can also write the answer of the others questions as well. We already covered the 53-54 questions. You can watch the video and you can write the answer. And you can submit those answers to the Edukemy portal so we can evaluate your answer. Okay. So we will meet tomorrow at again 6 p.m. Thank you. Thank you everyone.